What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of All the Mods Expert Mode. Oh yeah, guys. So last episode, we were finally able to get ourselves Ender IO basic capacitors. We set up some of these mechanism machines over here in order to start processing silver. We set up some of the actually addition machines over here to start processing some of these different materials that we needed. And yeah, we set up some Botania stuff in order to make the mana glass. And now we got everything together. We're able to make basic capacitors. So the basic capacitors are one of the key components to making machine frames or machine chassis. Yeah, these machine chassis from Ender IO. And these are like the main ingredient that goes into a lot of different machines, like the combustion chamber, the powered spawner, the vat. All of these different things do require this, and we were kind of stuck. We were kind of stuck with this recipe. So we got all of this under control now, which is awesome. What I'm really interested in getting today is a sag mill and a alloy smelter. Both of these machines here are very important to have. These will pretty much change the way we've been processing our ores. A lot of the things we've been doing have been putting some of our ores to the sag mill, and then we're having to smelt them over into our smeltery over here. Previously, we had to use the Embers mod and like the grindstone thing downstairs to double our copper. And there's a lot of different things we've been using. The sag mill and alloy smelter will get rid of all of that stuff and combine it into two different machines so we can process our ores and then smelt them down. It's going to make things a lot nicer. I do believe they're even faster than what we've been currently using, so it's definitely something I'm interested in getting done. So we need tungsteel ingots, which I do believe we can make right now with our metal alloyer. We just need all of these different things in there. In fact, I think we might even have some tungsteel already made. I don't remember. We've made some of these alloys in the past, but I don't remember if we made that particular one. I'm not seeing it in here. But anyway, we should have everything for that to be made. I think we need steel dust. So steel dust, I think we can just put that into the sag mill. Do we even have steel in here? I am not seeing steel. I believe it's called refined iron. No, steel. We have steel. Oh, we have steel in my inventory. That's why I didn't see it. All right. You know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think we've ever made the tungsteel because we needed this steel powder. So let's try putting that in the sag mill, or I guess the macerator. I'm sorry. Let's try putting it in there and see if that works. Sounds like it is doing the grindy action, but as you can see, this thing goes super slow. Again, we can put overclocker upgrades to speed this process up, but that requires more power. And we're currently only powering off one geothermal, which is still using the same amount of lava that we put in here originally. It looks like we're starting to run a little low on that lava supply, but pretty soon we won't be using these machines for our ore processing. We'll be using the Ender IO machines, which will be so much better. Okay, so we'll get the tungsteel ready to be made. We're going to need this refined obsidian ingot. So that is made with the arc furnace or osmium compressor. Looks like we need the osmium compressor. Oh, you know what? I don't think we've made an osmium compressor yet, did we? I am fairly certain we have not made that particular mechanism machine, but I don't remember for sure. Let's go take a quick look over here. No, we have a metallurgic infuser, a purification chamber, and an electrolytic separator. Okay, so yes, we need to make ourselves the osmium compressor. Hold on, was there another recipe? Let's just double check that before I make that machine unnecessarily. Arc furnace will take refined obsidian dust from mechanism and turn it into that. And we get the dust. Yeah, okay, so I guess we don't need the osmium compressor. We can just put it through our arc furnace. That's another way of doing it. So we need diamond plus obsidian to make that. And then we're going to need, I guess, 8 of those, one for each of our different machine chassis. So we're going to need to use a few of our diamonds to do this. Now, we could also look at getting, I can't remember the name of that machine. The enrichment chamber, I think. I believe it's the enrichment chamber. You could put a diamond in this machine and it'll make the compressed diamond, and that will go 10 times as strong or 8 times longer than a regular diamond would. So we might want to make this machine to help out on those resources. We don't have infinite diamonds at this point. That'll also help when we start doing the redstone plus iron recipes, those alloys and other things. So yeah, tell you what, I'll go and make an enrichment chamber here and take just a little bit of crafting. We will start making up all of the refined obsidian ingots. I'll start making some more of this tung steel ingot stuff, and then we'll be back to hopefully get these Ender IO machines on the way. Alright guys, so I just went ahead and I made our enrichment chamber here. So yes, this is yet another mechanism machine. We'll set this right next to our others. So the enrichment chamber, like I said before, it'll take like a piece of redstone and turn it into a compressed redstone or something. It's something like that. And then this should be used 8 times longer than one piece of redstone would be. So 1 piece of redstone plus 1 iron makes one of those enriched alloys. 1 of the compressed redstone plus 8 iron makes 8 enriched alloys. So yeah, you'll save on resources this way. Very important for diamonds, for instance. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing hooked up. We'll put a connector on here, one of these and one of those. And now this thing should be filling up full of power. Perfect. Let's put a diamond in there. So a diamond, just go ahead and runs through this machine. Doesn't take very much time at all. It doesn't use a lot of power either, I don't think. And then we should have a compressed diamond. Awesome. All right, so the compressed diamond we're going to want to put over in our metallurgic infuser into this slot here, and that gives us 80 diamonds. If we just put a single diamond in there, that would only give us 10. All right, so I ran, I think, 8 blocks of obsidian through this machine. That was weird. I thought when I was hitting this, it was making a weird sound. Anyway, yeah, I ran 8 blocks of obsidian through that machine, and that gives us 4 obsidian dust per block, which is pretty awesome. I do like that. I think that's better than the way we're getting obsidian dust previously. So yeah, now we should be able to take that, put it in here, and then that'll go ahead and run through and give us our enriched obsidian, which is going to be really nice. We'll take this stuff, put it through the arc furnace, and then we should be able to get the final bits here, the refined obsidian ingots that we need to make these machine chassis. So yeah, refined obsidian dust, that's not bad at all. So while that's going, I'll put another diamond in here, and then we should be able to do an additional 8 more of those obsidian dust. Yeah, we're going to want a lot of these things, so we might as well just get them done in bulk. It just kind of makes sense. All right, so there's another compressed diamond. We'll stick that right in here. And now we got a bunch more diamond material to be infused. All right, guys, so I went ahead and I made the sag mill. The recipe is pretty simple. We got the alloy smelter that I want to make as well. That requires more tung steel ingots and then 3 iron furnaces. So we need 15 iron plates and then these furnaces themselves. Those are pretty easy to make. All of those things are pretty easy to make since we have access to the nether and we have access to a lot of iron and stuff. I had to smelt down pretty much the last of our iron. I think that is all we have left. There might be another block over in our smeltery. I also made some more of our steel, or I guess I turned more of our iron into steel. Anyway, so we should be able to make 3 of these, and then, do we have everything? Yeah. Remember those extra cauldrons that I made? I think we still have like 2 more of them, or 3 more of them. At least we're getting use out of 1 of those. So anyway, there is a alloy smelter. Cool. So now we have 2 Ender IO machines, which is awesome. So yeah, both of those will allow us to process ores, double ores. I think we even get additional bonus materials for processing ores with the alloy or with the sag mill, right? And then we can smelt it, I believe, faster with the alloy smelter. We'll have to see how fast or slow these machines go. Yeah, we're kind of getting to the point now where these machines are getting a little crazy, but we'll keep adding on until we get a proper home for these guys. Okay, that took a minute. That was a little laggy. So there's a sag mill. There's our alloy smelter. That's pretty awesome. Finally getting into some Ender IO machines. You know, I brought the LV coils and I thought I brought the connectors, and I guess I didn't bring the connectors. My goodness. Yeah, I've been having to do a lot of stuff off camera here. Like I said, we're running out of iron, so I had to smelt down a lot of our magnetite, or I guess run that through the sag mill and then put that through the smeltery. I've been kind of doing some stuff here for quite some time, trying to get some of these resources going so we can get these things happening here. Anyway, we should have our LV wire coils ready to go, and we should be able to use both of these machines. So we'll once again connect these over to this and this one to that one. These machines are powering up. Awesome. So yes, that is really, really cool. So like I said before, we're starting to get to the point where we're maxing out our water wheel stuff here, right? I kind of think it's about time we should look at another type of power. Now, I'm not exactly sure what power we should do, but since we're working with mechanism, I know mechanism's got the biofuel. Yeah, this stuff, this biofuel, and you can use that in a biogenerator to produce power. Now, when I've used this in the past, this has made a decent amount of power. I honestly don't know how much power it makes in this particular mod pack. I believe that is configurable. Yeah. So we'll also need the biofuel anyway to convert into the substrate, or I guess ethylene, which would make an even higher tier fuel for us. So that's probably a thing that we'll want to look at doing. But first things first, biofuel is the thing that I want to make. So we're gonna have to make a crusher from mechanism. So crusher. There's a few different types of crusher. The one from extra utilities is disabled. We're looking at the mechanism one. So that isn't that bad. So we need a couple of lava buckets plus some redstone, basic control circuits. We've seen those before. And another one of these steel casings. So all these things are things that we are able to make at this point in time. So that is our next step. We need to make a crusher. We need to make a biogenerator. Hopefully those things together will make a decent amount of power. And then we can just take plant material like, I think wheat will go in there. If not wheat, I believe carrots and potatoes will go into that crusher and turn into biofuel. Yeah, and then we can use that stuff to make power. That's going to be our next step. Let me get to it and we'll be back, guys. All right, guys, so we got our crusher here, and we need the crusher in order to crush up different plant materials into biofuel. Yep. So I'm not exactly sure what all the different things are. I'm sure we can go into JEI and look, but I'm more than positive. Whoops, let's take that off the bar. More than positive potatoes will work, so we'll just go ahead and harvest some of these guys like so, and we will throw that into the crusher to make some biofuel. Now we need biofuel in order to make the crafting recipe for the biogenerator, so we have to do this process first. So there is potatoes in the crusher, and that is now working at all. Aha. Okay, so let's go back to the biogenerator. We'll look at the biofuel. Oh, poisonous potatoes, saplings. All right. Melons, other saplings and apples. Okay, baked potatoes will go through it. Wheat will go through it. Okay, I was kind of looking at this wheat field over here as we were going to the potatoes. I wasn't sure, but yeah, it looks like we will have to use wheat, which is fine. Wheat is pretty easy to come by. It grows for free, and we can just harvest it like no problem. Now, did it say we get 4 biofuel per wheat? I don't remember. So we'll put that in there. Oh, you know what would probably help? It would probably help if we gave the crusher some power. Why is this thing not working? I don't know. That's so weird. I bet the potatoes, the raw potatoes would work, wouldn't they? Let's find out. Okay, so we get 4 biofuel for the wheat. Does those work? Oh my goodness, I'm such a dummy sometimes. I thought we had everything connected because it's in this bank of machines where everything else already is powered. Whoops. Okay, yeah, so potatoes work, wheat works. Potatoes probably better because I think you get multiple potatoes per harvest, whereas you only get 1 wheat per harvest. Do you get more than 1 when you right click on the Pam's Harvest Craft? Wheat? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, we're starting to get some of our biofuel now, which is amazing. So now we can make this recipe here, our biogenerator, and then we can put the biofuel in there to start powering it. I'm very curious how much power the biogenerator itself makes. Now, I do believe that is configurable per mod pack, so the mod pack author could be like, oh, it makes 1 RF per tick. Guess we'll find out. Oh, we can make multiple. Let's just make 1 for right now. This might be like the worst way to make power. I honestly don't know. I am curious to find out. Let's set it down and we right click on here. It says out 700. But does it say how much it makes per 280? Well, let's put 1 biofuel in here. Yeah, that looks like, oh no, that makes 140 RF per tick. Okay, so that's pretty good. So 1 piece of biofuel makes 28,000 RF. Now each wheat was making 4 of the biofuel. So yeah, 1 piece of wheat turns into a decent amount of power here. That's like a little over 100,000 RF per piece of wheat. I like that. So the other question that we would have with this setup, how much power does it take for that crusher to run? And do we make a surplus of power? I assume we will. I wouldn't imagine this thing uses more than 20 RF per tick. Oh yeah, it's exactly 20 RF per tick. Interesting. So yes, each piece of wheat, or I guess each potato, makes 100,000 RF worth of biofuel, or a little over 100,000 RF of biofuel. So that is really cool. That's a little bit better than this. I do believe this is making like around 80, 90 RF per tick. And so this is going to make 140. That definitely increases the power that we can produce here. Now, another thing I'd like to do is start upgrading our power connections here. We are at this point using these LV wires, and we've seen before, especially when we use the arc furnace over here, that we are not able to keep up with the power demand. This wire cannot push the amount of power this machine needs. Does it need more than 130 RF per tick or 140, whatever that is? It could possibly need more than that, but these wires definitely can't push it. With our HV capacitor here, this is full with 4 million RF, even with that power on tap. Yeah, the wire's having a problem keeping up with all of the demand. So I'm glad that we got this going. We do need to get different power wires. Now, probably the Ender IO ones, the conduit. These energy conduits are what we're going to be wanting, which means we need the conduit binder and the conductive iron. 3 conductive iron. Actually, hold on a second. Yeah, so 1 recipe, 3 conductive iron is going to make 8 of those. Okay, I got to get away from this machine. That's driving me crazy. And then we could do, yeah, those will do 640 RF per tick. The enhanced energy conduit does 5,000 RF per tick, and then the top tier does 20,000. I guess we could probably start with these. And it does look like we can upgrade those later to the next tier, so we can save a little bit of this energetic alloy. The energetic alloy itself for the second tier, yeah, redstone, gold, and glowstone. Gold is one of those things we don't have a lot of right now, so we'll probably stick with this recipe, which I do believe, yeah, just redstone and iron for the conductive iron. I think that's gonna be pretty good. Now the conduit binder, so 1 binder composite gives us 2 of those, and a binder composite is made. Oh, okay, so we need slime plus grout to make 8 of those. So one of these recipes will make 16 total conduit binder. Is there a way to get more? No, every single way to smelt that just gives us the same amount. All right, so it looks like we're gonna want some kind of a slime farm set up at some point so we can make a lot of this. The grout is another thing because that's obsidian dust, gravel, red, or I guess gravel, sand, and clay. Is there a way to make clay that's easy? I know we've been going out into the world and just mining that manually, but if there's a way to make it, so it looks like sand plus water in the alchemy table will make clay. We could do flower pots. Yeah, I think bees are probably going to be the only way we can automatically make clay in the future. So, yeah, there's a few things to think about here. I think we're definitely going to make some of these conduits, so I'll get some iron and redstone cooking up in our alloy smelter. That should be a fairly straightforward thing. Do I have redstone on me? I don't have enough redstone on me. I do have some. Yeah, we will probably make a few recipes of that. So let's say 12. So we'll need that. I guess we need 1 more block of redstone here. So there is a 12 redstone and 12 iron. So yeah, we'll put that into the alloy smelter. Yeah, the alloy smelter's got a few different settings on there. It can smelt whatever you put in there. It can smelt only regular smeltable items, or you can set it for alloys only, which is what we want to do here. So 12 redstone, 12 iron, and that'll go ahead and cook into our conductive iron. Now, as you saw, I pulled out some osmium ingots from here. This thing will double the osmium ore automatically, so you don't have to sag mill it. You can just put the ore in and you get 2 osmium ingots per ore. It goes a little slow, and in fact, if we do it through the sag mill, I think we might even get just slightly more, especially if you put flint or dark steel balls in this slot. But anyway, let's wait for this thing to cook down, get our conductive iron. I'll start working on getting the stuff together to make some of the binder composite, and then we should be able to start swapping out these wires for something a little better. All right, guys, so here we go. Here's some conductive iron, and here's some conduit binder, and here we go. There's half a stack of these energy conduits. Hopefully that's going to serve us a little bit better. I don't know what the throughput is of these current copper ones that we've been using, but obviously they're not that great. They don't have a lot of throughput. A lot of the machines that require power seem to be struggling when using them. So hopefully this will serve us a little bit better. That creeper, though, that freaked me out. I thought he was inside the fence. I was about to be like, no, get away from me. What really makes me happy, though, is that we won't have to be making any more of these copper coils anymore. That has been very, very tedious to constantly make those all the time. A lot of copper's gone into them. I think these LV wire coils are used for other things, but yeah, definitely looking forward to not having to use those anymore. Whoa, okay, that was a little bit of a lag spike, putting that on there. All right, so there we got this. Oh, I don't want to use the hammer. Let's use this diamond pick here. Cool. All right, so now we should be able to... I kind of want to run off one of these sides and over, I think. So let's grab power from here, then bring that over. We'll probably end up getting rid of this whole immersive engineering cabling system here very soon. But for right now, there we go. That should power everything up. So yes, everything should be powered off this conduit now, which means we could probably get rid of all of this stuff over there and run the conduit over here and hopefully help our arc furnace out a little bit. Kind of want to do that, but then again, I don't know if we have enough of the conduit to run off to all of these different machines at this point in time. Definitely gonna have to make more of that conduit, but for right now, I think that is going to get us going. And like I said, we can use this for part of the recipe to make the next tier, so it's not like this will go to waste. We will still be using it, but I guess we will be using extra conduit binder. Yeah, I think it's cheaper just to do this recipe here as far as the conduit binder is concerned, but it's not that big of a deal. We'll save a little bit of gold, redstone, and whatever glowstone dust later on, so I think that'll be just fine. So yeah, a lot of Ender IO stuff that we got here. Very happy about the conduits. We'll start having to get into the item conduits, which will allow us to do a lot of automations that much easier. So I'm definitely looking forward to that in the future. So probably one of the next things that we need to get going here is to probably get rid of our water wheel. We need to get a way to automatically start harvesting crops, getting those crops put into our crusher, get the crusher to make the biofuel, and the biofuel distributed to at least one biogenerator. We'll probably end up making a few of these for now. Yeah, that's a thing we'll probably be looking at next time. So if we're going to be doing something like that, we're going to want to get ourselves a farming station, right? So an Ender IO farming station. That uses electrical steel, which is another alloy smelter thing. It's not that bad. Iron, coal dust, and silicon. All those things we can acquire pretty easily. It does require Z-Logic controller, which requires another machine to slice and splice to make the Z-Logic controller. I don't think the slice and splice requires anything crazy in the recipe. No, it's pretty much all the same generic things. This is a new thing, solarium, that we have not made yet, but that's a soul sand and gold. So that won't be that huge of a deal. We will have to figure out a way to get more gold in this mod pack, that's for sure. So slice and splice would be a thing that we'll have to get. Was there anything else here that was crazy? The pulsating crystal, so that's just diamond with pulsating iron nuggets. And that I do believe is made, is that only made in the smeltery? Pulsating iron. The recipe for the ingot itself is made in the alloy smelter. Iron ingot plus an ender pearl. Yeah, so you can make the pulsating iron pretty easily. So it looks like all of those things, now that we've gotten to this point where we have our basic Ender IO machines, are going to be pretty trivial to do. So we'll go ahead and set our biogenerator down here for now, I suppose, and we can run some cable from here up like that. That'll help provide power to everything else. And we can fill up the internal buffer here full of this biofuel. And as power gets used, it will just use a little bit of the biofuel. I think that'll be just fine. Yeah, this has its own internal power storage. I'm not sure if it'll use power off our HV capacitor first or if it'll use power off this first. Probably we want to set this to be extract. Is that set to extract? Yeah, that's set to extract. We want this one to be set to extract as well, just so we're not trying to push power from the generator up the cables and into this thing. That's definitely not a thing we want to have happen. But yeah, I think this is set up pretty much how we want it for right now. Again, we will be moving these machines to a more permanent location, but for the time being, this early on, until we get, you know, power being moved around, a lot more cables where we can run these things, and we can put, you know, the machines inside houses, I think this is just going to work for now. But anyway, guys, I think we're going to wrap up the episode for today. Yeah, like I said, I definitely want to get some of the biofuel going. So probably next time we'll look at making one of the Ender.io farming stations, making some more of the biogenerators, maybe another crusher, and try and get some kind of a, you know, automatic power production thing set up over there. That'll be really cool. Once we get power taken care of and it's all automated, so we can get rid of the water wheel and we can look at expanding out and making, you know, some higher tier machines like this arc furnace, for instance. This is I guess it's a higher tier machine, but we can't really properly power it. I would like to be able to. So that's something we will look at here very soon. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today. Thank you guys for watching. Remember, leave a like on the episode if you liked it, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye-bye.